So here's the bluff in our view, the bottom line up front. The chief of staff position is more critical now in industry than it's ever been. And we invest a lot of time and energy into working with chiefs around industry. And it's really a lesson we drew from our time in the military. And why is that? It's because we're firm believers that any organization looks both like this and like this at the same time. It is based on an organizational model that's been built over generations where senior leadership, mid-management, and frontline folks coordinate and communicate in a clear fashion and keep the entire enterprise on heading and moving forward. But it's also structured like this. There are human networks running all around the building, meeting in the hallway, now meeting virtually, and having conversations that span across the industry in ways that the org design on the wall doesn't really marry up against. And it's critical to have at least a person, if not a team, that understands both of those models. And so in reality, most organizations look like a hybrid between the two. There's both the black line traditional way of running the business and then these, call them red line networks that are working around the building. Often in productive ways, sometimes in ways that are mysterious or not understood by senior executives. And a chief of staff can be perfectly positioned to understand both of those operating models. The one that's very intentional, that black line system, and the red line networks that are often harder to understand or see. So your chief, who sits right next to the senior executive team or the CEO, can keep that senior executive team informed about what things are happening inside the black line system. They can run the day-to-day and keep the business updated and informed, but they can also work the hallways in a way that other senior executives don't have the time or aren't well positioned to do. They can understand those red line networks inside the building. Where are they strong and can be leveraged? Where are there bottlenecks that need to be broken apart? Where is there difficulty arising between the different verticals in the organization? And where are there positive connections between the lines in the business that can be leveraged to the strategy and execution of the organization? So that's why we think a chief of staff is a more strategic role than most organizations are leveraging it for these days.